What's up, Transformers fans? I'm Mondo, the Dead Bottomist Prime himself, and this is week 34 of Moonbase 84's year-long celebration celebrating 40 years of Grimlock and the Dinobots. And for this week, I thought it'd be cool to revisit one of the newest members of the Dinobot faction in her G1 form, and that is the Transformers Power of the Primes Legend Scale Slash. Being a Legend Scale, Slash is small but mighty, and I think she looks really cool. She does have the G1 original G1 deco of the Dinobots to make her fit in with that team as they first appeared way back in the day. But one thing that stands out to me about Slash is that even though she has the deco, her design is that of a modern, what we've come to think of as depictions of modern dinosaurs. She's not a tail dragger, that's what I mean by that. And of course she's a little raptor. And being the Legend Scale, I think it's pretty interesting too, because her being a Legend Scale means she is more into scale to what a raptor would be to the bigger Dinobots, which is funny. Now, I'm not sure if Hasbro made her the Legend Scale on purpose to make her scale more appropriately with bigger bots, being the raptor. But as we take a closer look, we can see, as I mentioned, that her deco is that to fit right in with the original G1 toys and the Power of the Primes Dinobots, obviously. And we get the traditional grays, reds, we get the gold, you know, the hits of gold. And then you got like on the head, and get real close in, some really nice sculpt work in that gold. And on the sides you get some gold. Really cool little raptor. And I think, again, this was done, which I think is really interesting and pretty cool, is her back opens up, which of course is for a Titan Master, but also it makes her fit right in with those original G1 Dinobot toys, because they all had the Diaclone cockpits. When they were brought over to the Transformers lines, they still had the Diaclone cockpits for a while before they sealed them up. So that makes her fit right in with the G1 toys as well. And again, like I said, the one thing that stands out is that she looks like our modern understanding of what a raptor would be. So that's the one difference, because anytime they do the G1 Dinobots like they did in the Power of the Primes, there's still the tail draggers. Something that I've been really wanting to see from Hasbro, can't talk today, is that they update that. You can still give us mechanical dinosaurs, but I would like to see all the Dinobots reimagined with the modern sensibilities. But yeah, this little raptor mode for Slash is really cool. Her mouth does open and close, like so. And again, I mentioned the cockpit. Her little hands can swivel, little raptor hands. Her toes, you can see one of the claws is a bit bigger. It'd have been cooler if it was a lot bigger, more like bigger than that. But that's, you know, to give us the raptor look. But she is tiny. Speaking of her legs, you know, you get that knee bend. They can go out, and you get no foot. I thought there was a foot. Sorry about that. And nothing. Well, the tail can do that, but it looks wonky because that's for transformation. But yeah, still a really cool little raptor. I would have liked to see some repaints of this mold to get a little, you know, little army of raptor dinos. Now I can't get her to stand. But yeah, really cool little G1-esque raptor, and she's not going to stand, so hell with it. One thing I also want to point out, and you might have noticed when we were going over her sculpt and deco, is the one thing that's kind of ugly. You get that ugly gap going straight through her belly. And again, there's some of that tail sculpt work. So let's transform up Slash and take a look at her robot mode. So here we have Slash transformed all up into a robot mode, and just like her dino mode, her robot mode is meant to evoke the original G1 Dinobot toys, and we'll take a closer look. And of course, you still get the same colors, the reds, the grays, the golds. We'll take a look at her head sculpt, very tiny head sculpt, but I do like it. You get the red eyes and the silver face, very cool. Going down, you get the red chest, tiny Autobot symbol, and of course the blacks and the grays. But for such a little figure, some nice sculpt work. Going down to the legs, you get hits of red on that gray and some gold, and of course the gold. A lot of this we've seen in dino mode. Gold on the shoulders, which were her dino legs. Not bad for a backpack. Nice and compressed, so you just have the tail and the raptor arms hanging off her, what would be kind of like her hips in a way. So pretty cool little dino. Well, I should say robot mode. The one thing I wish is that they included an accessory. Dinobots need at least, I got a hair right in front of my camera, at least a sword, I would think. It would have been cool if they included a little sword for her. Articulation, she is a Legends class, so of course she's not going to have as much as the bigger bots, but she's pretty well articulated. Her head can swivel. My copy is very tight. Arms can go all the way up to a T. You get the elbow to like 90. Swivel at the bicep. No wrists, no waist. She can kick forward very far, kick back only a little bit. Her little raptor arms get in the way. Does almost the full split. She does have rotation at the thigh and a 90-degree knee bend. No ankle tilt or anything like that. But still, for a little Legend scale figure, she has some nice articulation. So that is my look at the Power of the Primes Legend Scale Slash. A little figure, but very cool. And to me, very important in the scheme of things when you're talking about Dinobots within the Transformers world. Because new characters like her add to the Dinobots team. We get new dinos, and I would like to see an upscaled figure of her. Not of this toy per se, but a bigger, like maybe at least a deluxe figure of Slash. As well as another newcomer to the G1 team, fairly newcomer. When I say newcomer, I mean more recent than the original G1s, let me clarify. But that would be Scar. I think they need proper deluxe or Voyager scale, at least toys, at the minimum. And I'm still a big I told you I couldn't talk today. I'm still a big advocate for a new Dinobot subline. Because just like they used to have back in the day, because it'd be cool to just get different Dinobots out there. And we could get a bigger Slash, a bigger Scar to add to the team. I'm also an advocate, like I had mentioned earlier in this video, of modernizing the traditional Dinobot team to get dinosaur modes that have the modern sensibilities of what we know dinosaurs look like compared to what we thought they looked like back in the 80s or back in the day. With that being said, comment to let me know what you think of Slash here. Would you like to see another go around with Slash and like a bigger scale, or with Scar as well? Or give me some ideas of what dinos you would like to see become Dinobots. And all that was a bunch of mumbling, I do realize, but I think you know what I meant. Extra mumbly today. So I better just close the video now. This is week 34 wrapped up of our year-long celebration of Grimlock and the Dinobots. And until next time, thanks for docking.